Hi, it's Achim from InnerSpace Explorers. And today I have another story for you. And the background is this gentleman here. Don't know if it's a gentleman, but there were so many people that asked me, like, what is it about this skull? I think I did a couple of videos with these glass cabinets in the background. And so people saw the skull there, and then all kind of speculation. Actually, a couple of people that accused me, like, you took that from a wreck or something like that. And so yeah, and I made a tour actually through all these cabinets from my patrons. So a couple of them also started to ask. And my favorite answer usually is it's my ex-wife, which not everybody finds funny, but it doesn't bother me. And so I decided to tell you the story of the skull. So, in the late 90s, like 97, 98 or so, I did a dive in Walchensee, close to Munich. It's a lake about 800 meters above sea level, beautiful scenery in the mountains, and one of my favorite dive spots, especially back then. And in about 40 meters of water on a muddy ground, I found the skull. And it's not that uncommon. There was a lot of war activity going on up there, and there's a couple of wrecks in the lake that are from the Second World War. So theoretically, running over bones from a soldier or so is not that uncommon. Don't get the wrong impression that, I mean, you go in there and there's bones all over the place. Not at all. Most people never see one in their life, but it's not like completely unbelievable. So I found that skull and I was like, okay. Looked around a little bit if I find other bones or whatever. There was nothing. So I took the skull, recovered it, brought it back up, called the police and told them, like, look, I did this dive and I found the skull. So they asked me to stay on site. Police came, they took the skull, they asked me where exactly that was. I actually marked the spot with a surface marker buoy, so they sent a team in. They also looked for other bones, they didn't find anything. And so they took the skull, said thank you and goodbye. And a couple of days later I received a phone call from the police and they said, you found that skull in the lake and we tested it and checked it. And it's actually not a real one, it's a copy of a skull, so probably for medical training, whatever. It's a very, very good copy. So the coroner actually, just by looking at it, couldn't say it's not a real one, especially with mud and algae and everything on it. But they cleaned it, they checked it. It's nothing with a criminal background or so. So we don't need it. Do you want it? I said, yeah, of course. It's a cool souvenir from the dive. So another couple of days later, it was at a time when I still had a dive shop in Munich. I was in my shop, I was serving a customer, actually a really nice old lady that was there with her granddaughter, and they were trying to buy a mask. Police car pulls up in front of the shop, police officer comes in with a box, slams it on the table, opens it up and says, hey, we found your grandma, have a nice day, and left. So the real grandmother didn't find it too funny and actually left with her grandmother, with her grandchild. And I got my skull. So that's the short story of that skull in the background. And yeah, it's always a cool souvenir, and it was an interesting dive and a cool little story. And of course, there is no real skull in my collection or anything like that. That would be super disrespectful. And if you know me a little bit and you follow that channel, you know that I'm very much into respecting wrecks as grave sites and treat them with respect. Don't take anything personal or whatever. I mean, we obviously don't take anything anymore, but if you look in the background, you see there's a couple of things 20, 30 years ago that was very common to take, I don't know, a portal or whatever, which today is a complete no-go, but nevertheless human remains are a complete no-go and always have been a complete no-go. So it would have been very, very strange if there's anything real in that collection. Alright, I hope that satisfies the curiosity out there a little bit. And if you have cool stories like that, just let us know in the comment section. If you like my channel and the content, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, if you want to discuss things a little bit more in detail, especially diving related stuff, check out my Patreon site. Super nice community where we discuss things on a more private level. Other than that, stay safe, have some cool dives, and I see you next time. Bye bye.